God, jeez, okay. My phone almost crashed by an entire GIF in the meme section.
Please don't put GIFs in the meme section to save GZ.
Okay, I won't.
Here's episode 2. Here we
Putting
go.
random
And I
names
don't
in
like the
FNAF
name of it.
files.
The Color Brothers.
The color. Oh, that's a.
brother.
Oh, that's. You're
That's
just.
that's
You,
right.
That's Jaden and his siblings.
you're
don't
asking
have
for
any.
a rogging for this one.
FNAF
Yeah, you don't
3
have it.
theory.
So you're
Ooh.
just
Oh,
the
good.
color.
My game.
Hello everyone, Blackfoot
It's
Ferret
Purple
here
guy.
with a Five Nights at Freddy's theory that shakes up everything we know and explains 2 of the oldest mysteries in the
Ooh,
game.
brain
But I'm
numbers.
set up FNAF 3
Hey,
files
don't
now.
Freddy.
But have you ever wondered how one guy, even a mutated ninja, could overpower 5 kids at once and have time to smash them one by one to steal animatronic frames before any escaped or even called for help?
What is this animation?
It's called locking him into. It's bringing him into a safe room, locking the door, and killing them one by one. And I give it to him.
Remember,
Strategy.
adults are stronger than children.
The answer is
Especially when they have
He did it.
knives.
Not alone.
Yeah.
There's a second villain hiding in Fazbear's
Ah,
Pizza.
no.
And
The
believe it or
Q
not,
killer.
the purple
That
guy
theory
is
is
the one
dead.
I'm most afraid of.
Dead. Dead as hell. What shoes they got on. What shoes they got on in the
Oh, yeah.
Golden Freddy suit.
Oh yeah, I want to say hell.
This,
Wait a minute, we can
The
pause.
The purple guy and
this dude thinks there's 2 killers.
I'm now just picturing it just like
What
Springtrap and like the guard. That's why your shoes raggedy. That's why your brother's dead. Dead as hell. What shoes
Oh,
they got
yeah.
on in that Freddy suit over there?
Oh yeah, y'all
Like the
can
corner
say
of
hell
Freddy.
though. You can say that.
Alright.
and the pink guy.
Mhm,
Okay, he's
mhm.
more of
Because
a
the
magenta,
darkest
but
pit of
pink is
hell has
simple,
opened to
and
swallow you
videos
whole.
simple as this. Most people, even me, thought they were the same person, with the purple guy being the older version. But let's take a closer look. The purple guy
Yeah.
is tall and thin, with a long neck and a hunched forward head. He has white eyes and sometimes wears
Well,
a
the
bad
pink
long
guy is
neck.
tall and thin.
The pink guy, our newest friend,
That neck
and
be
older
so
than
long,
Paul,
though.
is shorter, stocky,
Is
and
Sean.
somewhat lighter in shape, with almost no
Alright.
He stands straight.
I've had
It's
flat,
gotta be
I got my
so-
What is this
FNAF.
music
Difference in shape.
playing?
The physical differences are remarkable. If Wario and Waluigi had a third
Wait a
set
minute,
of
is this the
evil twin
finale?
brothers, it would be these guys.
Wait.
Or maybe it's just them. The purple guy first appears in the Game 2 minigames, sometimes ambushing
This
each
is
other,
so much fun.
giving the message you
They're
can't
playing
when
this
he
so
catches
much
you, in
fun.
reference to saving the
I
kids.
just
The
noticed
pink
that.
guy first appears outside
What is
Fredbear's
this?
family diner.
The show
jumping out of
must
his
go
purple
on.
veil to
That
kill a
Meta
child.
Pony
The
song.
child who became the Marionette. In FNAF 3, the
I haven't
purple
heard
guy
that
waits
song
for
in a
each of the
good
kid
year.
animatronics to follow Purple Freddy outside the secret
Purple
room.
Freddy.
He rushes them and stabs them in the back once
Purple
they can't
Freddy.
leave. When they find they can't enter the
Purple
doorway.
Freddy.
The pink guy shows up again in Foxy's minigame in Game 2, watching with a smile as Foxy runs into a room full of dead kids. The purple
Hey,
guy
Foxy,
piloted
go,
the
go,
yellow
go.
Spring Bonnie suit when he lured the original 5
Hey
children
there,
to the back room
buddies.
to their
How's it
doom. Later, he
going?
was scared into wearing
Let's
the
see-
SP
let's
suit
do a
again.
funny
Wet,
thing.
How did-
using
oh,
stones
you're
to
all
fail and
dead.
impale him, turning him into
no.
a monster.
That
The
ain't good.
pink guy piloted the second special suit, the yellow GF suit, and was later stuffed into it.
Yellow
becoming
GF
something we'll
suit.
talk about later.
The yellow
First,
girlfriend.
how do we know for certain that there are 2 people? For this, we again turn to our beloved, unreliable narrator, the phone guy, and the things we learned in
Why
Five
is there
Nights
just
at
a
Freddy's.
puppet
We learned
in
of
the
spring
FNAF 3
animatronics,
files?
an early series which could transform from animatronics to suits people could wear. Once a spring crank was
Jaden checks
applied,
the FNAF
flattening
3
robotic
files.
parts to the inside of the suit, where they were then
Why
held in
is
place
this
by
random
spring locks.
murder
Nifty
puppet
but
in the FNAF
dangerous,
3
because if the
file?
spring locks ever failed the robotic parts would impale the person
Good to
wearing
know,
the suit,
Jaden.
killing them
Oh,
or
yeah, that
worse.
wasn't a
We also
file.
learned of the secret room in each restaurant that was off
Jaden,
camera
don't you
and
know
impossible
about
for
pu-
animatronics
don't you
to
know
enter,
about
where
Puddle
high-ranking
Puppet?
employees could find safe haven in the event anything should go wrong. Digging deeper, we learn the phone
Just-
guy cannot be the
just
purple guy.
puppet-
He's
just
the one
puppet's
who uses the
reflection.
spring body
Don't
suit
survive
on
the
Earth
night.
and warns people to never use it again. Ultimately, he gives the word to have the secret rooms at most locations sealed permanently behind a false wall, locking the spring bunny suit away forever, or at least until the events of Five Nights.
all of this
Phone
is
guy also
Mando
mentions
Pony
a new
songs.
character for the first time.
They're playing Survivor Night. Oh,
To appropriate
why is
Also,
there just
don't
enough-
support Mando Pony.
Look out, technicians.
Technician singular, not plural. Fazbear Entertainment has 1 technician in the area, presumably to maintain the animatronics. Purple Guy must
Why
have
are
been
these
more than a
renders of
security
puppet
guard who
nicknamed
knows
this
how to use the
technician
SB suit
Bill.
and use a spring crank as a melee weapon to quickly
Melee.
certify possessed animatronics, carrying them apart in the
Murder!
process. This is a person who's worked at the restaurant for some time, and is very
Hold on,
likely
let
the
me pause.
technician Phone Guy spoke of. So,
The implication is with the spring lock crank is that, like, I just think he just bonks them on the heads.
You go.
You have a
He-
thing for bonking, no, don't
Huh,
you?
bonk.
Boom.
That's how he gained skill as Clown Springtrap.
So why are there 3 random puppet images in the files of FNAF 3?
I remember
It's
seeing
the
those
reflection,
when
Jaden.
I actually saw those when I was getting FNAF 3 textures of the characters. I was like,
They're just
what are
there. They're
these
just
here
in the
for?
background. I think
yeah,
they're
they're
mostly
just
used,
there.
unused.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of them is used as a reflection.
No, it's the full image of the puppet that's used as a reflection.
Oh. Also, Jaden, I have a meme now.
Is it a GIF? Because don't send that.
No.
No.
If you put the
Some
puppet heads in an
gifs-
exact order,
Okay, some gifs are allowed for my phone, but then when they're really good and like super long,
if you
It
put the
starts to
puppet
crash my
images in a
phone.
certain order, you get this.
Okay, let's continue.
Phone
That's
guy isn't the
funny.
purple guy. This means he's just an innocent, misunderstood bystander, right?
You
No.
watched their file.
Nothing
No.
could be further from the truth. We
No.
learned a lot about Phone Guy himself in Five Nights 3. With every game, Phone Guy's authority seems to
Did we?
grow. In Game 1, he was head of security,
we?
training new expendable night watchmen with recorded phone messages. In FNAF 2, he reveals a deep understanding of every animatronic model design, particularly their weaknesses, almost as if he designed them
No.
himself. And in Game 3, he's in charge of
He's
not
not
just the
William.
restaurant, but a chain in the area, acting very much as if he were CEO of the company.
No.
Even ignoring the fact that working for Fazbear Entertainment beats Alaskan crab fishing for world's most dangerous
Son of a
occupation,
bitch.
and that CEO Phone Guy must be on OSHA's
Demo.
terminate on site non-compliance list. Phone Guy also knows things that no sane person would know, not without calling the police. Phone Guy knows exactly what it looks like when a person is crushed into an animatronic suit.
The only parts of you that would likely see the light of day again would be your
You think
eyeballs
Fazbear
and
Entertainment
teeth
cares?
about the front of the mask. Yeah,
You're looking to be an uneducated guess.
Phone Guy
you
knows there's
seen
more
the-
to the animatronics moving at
Hang
night than
on.
just
I mean,
a
doesn't
walking
that-
servo.
doesn't
He
that
deliberately
happen?
lies to you about
Doesn't
them
that just
seeing you
happen
as
to
an
William
skeleton without a
Afton?
suit, when we clearly see Bonnie
Have you
backstage
seen
ignoring
the
a Baron skeleton,
paychecks?
giving the camera a meaningful
They
look.
don't care.
And Phone Guy knows the fate of the 5 children, and never told
Wait,
the
what?
public
When?
or police about it, letting the hunt for the bodies continue
How?
without success.
When
The
did he
player
ever
is able
say
to
this?
figure out from mysteriously appearing posters
Hold
in
on,
each
no.
corner
Most of the
and
public
one
knowledge
most of
knows
the
that
children's
5
bodies
kids likely
remained in the
died
animatronics.
there.
Shit.
This mystery was never solved by the police of the Five Nights world. However, Phone Guy announces that
After learning of an unfortunate incident at the
That's a
sister
different
location
thing.
involving multiple and simultaneous
Yeah, that's a different.
spring lock
That's a
failures,
different.
That's a different
the
incident.
system
There's no
is
spring lock.
unfit for employees.
If you can
There are
pause,
no
implies a
spring
number
locks.
higher than
Take off
2,
your
more like
pants.
5. And
I
even
don't remember Freddy being a spring lock suit.
by the way,
I don't
the
remember
multiple and
that.
simultaneous springlock failure event is likely why Phone Guy knows what happens if a person is stuffed in a robot suit. Because you know, it would likely be the same.
dangerous as they are, if the springlock suits have been used successfully for months, having several fail all at once is a near statistical impossibility, unless someone made it happen. Phone Guy says that this location has 2 special spring suits, but there could easily be many
What
other
are you
standard issue
looking
spring
at?
suits in use at other locations. The very fact that Phone Guy makes a tape to explain
I'm
how to use spring suits
special.
proves that there's more than 2.
Oh,
This
yeah,
teach
no.
the brave pilots
Ha,
in person,
ha,
and Fazbear's over more than 2 characters. Spring Bonnie and Spring Freddy might simply make happy surprise appearances.
That's a name that I haven't heard in a while.
Introduces rich yellow
I
traveling
know.
yeah.
I haven't heard
Freddy.
that name
Spring
since
Crate
the
Springbok suits also
Third
solve the
Snatch of
main
Ever
Fazbear
since
game.
FNAF
But they're not
4
all
came
spring
out.
Crazed
suits.
man in a bunny suit was able to overpower
Oh my
5
God,
kids
that
all at
image
once
alone.
without
Remember,
any
JJ's a
need for help.
spring lock
Basic
suit
idea of
ignition.
smashing a human skeleton with a steel animatronic framework itself
Spring
seemed
boy.
impossible. It would require strength far beyond that of a normal human. You'd have to be either an insane robot or the Hulk to achieve such
Bender.
It would pulverize the body long before the stuffing was finished. Unless the
Fight my
animatronics were
shiny
actually
metal
designed to impale humans.
Now.
As dangerous as the spring suits are, it's
Now,
hard not to
you
imagine
might
that
have
the
something
risk
there.
isn't a bug, but a deliberately designed feature.
He might have
This,
something
then,
there.
is the secret of how the purple guy killed the original
It's
Five
not
No.
a bug, it's
he
a
offered to
feature.
grant them a wish worthy of the worst of the Fae. How would you like to become your favorite characters, kids? Esteemed Uncle Spring Bonnie brought the 5 to the back room and opened the spring suits for them, letting them climb in and
Uncle
get
I love how he's
then, before
comparing
any of the
this
kids realized
to
what was happening, he
Freaking
spring
pause.
cranked them all, releasing the animatronic parts.
Spring cranked.
I love how he's comparing this to the Leprechaun series,
Oh.
which involves no wishing at all for the most part.
We're
Kids
just
never
starting.
even had time to scream. In hindsight, it should have been
yes,
obvious that we
stolen
needed
fan
an
art.
additional character to complete the 5 kids crime
Stolen
scene, since the
fan
killer
art.
couldn't
You
both
I
wear the
remember
yellow
that
Spring
fan art.
Freddy suit and stuff a kid inside as well. Spring Bonnie was always there, as early as the picture along Game 1's west hallway inside the office itself. We just learned about him after the fact. And this was part of the message of the paper plate dolls, more evidence that Spring Bonnie, Spring Trap existed. Let's look
Did
at
you
the
forget
dolls.
Bonnie?
The first time I saw a sequence of both Chicas taking interest in the first doll in Game 2, I thought Chica herself had made it, and was bringing it to your office as either a gift, a warning, or a message, as if to say, I am human! Clearly, if the second 2 dolls were Bonnie and Freddy, the first one had to be Chica, right?
No.
But then I noticed the buttons.
It's a balloon.
Paper dolls
boy
have
type
buttons,
thing.
as many of the Game 2 animatronics have buttons. However, most have 2, and there's only one that has 3, the Marionette. Who, now that we look closer, looks a lot like the first doll in other ways.
Children made
The
these.
second doll looks very funny.
If
with
we
its
can
crooked
pause for a
ears and the
sec.
tear stains down its cheeks. But the most
The funny thing about the Marionette
Only has one
connection-
button.
The funny thing about the Marionette connection is that I jokingly say that the puppet was a part of Fredbear's. And now
I think
these
we
things
all
exist.
jokingly said that.
Yeah. This puppet
striking
was in
thing is that it
Fredbear's.
only has one button. Bonnie has 2 buttons. Who only has one button? Springtrap. Again,
But then where's
I
his
don't
bow
have
tie?
any buttons.
Where's his bow tie? Well, that is.
I lost my bow tie.
Yeah,
You
he,
and for the
dumbass.
second look, the likeness is very
Hey.
good. This leaves only the third
where's
doll,
his bow
which is
tie?
clearly a version of Freddy, but something is wrong. Zooming in reveals yellow eyes, but most versions of Freddy have blue eyes. That must mean the third doll is someone we'll talk about later.
I saw
We were
that.
discussing Phone Guy, the worst boss
Where
in
is
the
it?
universe. A boss so bad,
It was-
he's
I
criminal.
saw Golden
and he
Freddy
likes
and Shadow
Foxy.
Freddy
He
too,
loves
yeah.
watching Foxy.
Did Foxy ever repair the hallway?
Bro, we're in
He was
Gmod
Oh my
now.
Who
god.
He loves
doesn't?
watching Foxy even
But
when
what-
there are other things that might be worthy of attention, like the 5 dead kids in the
he
next
just
room.
showed Foxy
Unless, of
flipping you
course,
off.
he already knew
Yes.
about the kids, in which case Foxy is
We're
much
gonna have to
more
think of
interesting,
that.
especially when you think about
Good
what
on
the guy in
him.
the Foxy spring suit is going to do next.
Spring-
He's going to tell the
Foxy
police
spring
when they
suit.
come looking
Oh, that
for
was
him.
an
Excuse
old,
me?
old
Guy who
theory.
watched him enter.
Oh yeah.
yes.
Now it's time to use
Spring
some imagination.
Foxy.
What possible
Spring
good could come from killing a child
I mean,
outside of a restaurant?
technically,
To
isn't
most
there...
people, the
hold on,
crime
if we can
seems
pause.
senseless, but they're not thinking strategically or psychopathically. You see, if you wanted to open your own restaurant
can
and wanted to
pause
use
for a
someone
sec.
else's popular character to do it, you could pay them a lot of money, or you could see that something bad happened that put their restaurant out of business. What good is a kid's place that isn't safe for kids?
What's with the
Fredbear's
accent?
Family Diner would go bankrupt, and they'd sell the rights to
I don't
Freddy
know.
and the
He's, of
amazing
course, doing the
animatronic
voice
technology that animated
of a
him
villain.
to anyone still willing to buy for peanuts.
Does this dude
He'd show
predict
up,
how
often
After
with
was gonna
small, but
sound
given
like?
the situation more than
Oh, it's
reasonable
funny, because now
offer,
we know
and
him
you'll
after
build
he
your
is
own
British.
restaurant and animatronics from a fraction of the cost, without having to worry about any competition. Children everywhere would cheer the return of their
Why does he
favorite
sound like
characters, and
Hannah?
parents everywhere would be impressed by the new security
He kinda
measures.
does.
You'd be
It sounds
considered
like-
heroes, CEO
it's-
Pink
it's
Dial.
William
Sounds like
Afton
Han
himself.
Unit, but he's also Afton.
Better in every way. Instead of one animatronic, you'd have several. Instead of one
Oh,
location,
sounds like
you'd
the
have many.
Onceler, huh?
So many that you'd only be able to manage them all with messages over the phone. And you and your right-hand man/brother/minion would have special suits of your own. You'd prance around like
Minion.
the heroes you were.
Minion.
Suits of
Minion.
armor, and children would cheer you
Minion.
wherever you appeared. And what would it matter if it's all a lie? That your whole empire was based on the blood of a murdered child? Surely, all this good outweighs the cost of a single human life, especially
What
when
are
it
you
serves your
even
own
talking
needs so
about
very
anymore?
well. What could possibly
That's what I'm
go
trying to
wrong?
figure
Bro.
out.
The final
I
thing
just
we
give
know about
up.
the phone guy, who is
This is the point
Okay,
where I
so
think
basically,
it has to be a
that whole
parody.
spiel there was saying, what? So, what would matter if your competition? Basically, I think what he's saying is that what would matter if you have one thing that's competing against you? What if you kill one of the kids in front of them, and make it seem like their place is not friendly for kids, so your business actually grows bigger. And bring
And now we know that Fredbear's Family Diner was likely a part of the Freddy Fazbear
Doesn't make sense.
company.
is
Yeah,
none other
and
than
also
the
the
pink guy
two people
himself,
work
is that
for
he
each
knows
other,
the purple
so,
guy, and has
about
for
that.
years. When faced with the knowledge that someone well acquainted with piloting the spring Bonnie suit had killed 5 kids, Phone Guy could have gone to the police. Instead, he initiated a cover-up and made sure to seal incriminating evidence away in the secret room. If the purple guy talked to the police, it would mean doom for Phone Guy as well. So he either got purple guy out of prison, framed another employee for purple guy's deeds, the guy in the foxy suit comes to mind, or obstructed the investigation enough so that the bodies weren't found.
There was
and
no
Purple
guy.
got a very short sentence. Why would
How
phone guy hired the purple guy in the first place? You might as well ask why he designed suits for the purpose of impaling humans. Again, it's time to use some imagination. Every mad scientist needs a minion, a partner in crime, someone skillful enough to be useful, weak enough to be controlled, and discreet enough to do the boring and dirty things that need to be done so you can continue your all-important work without interruption. Especially if
Basically, what this is saying is that, like, there was an
Remember how
accomplice.
Pink Guy was going to make the restaurant better? The only things better than robots who do well at
If we can
pretending to
pause.
be alive are robots who actually are alive.
No, not steam. That's steam-powered giraffe.
What the
Basically, what this is saying is that
Pink guy is the mastermind, and purple guy is the lackey.
I was thinking completely different.
That's what I was saying.
So if I can do a Danganronpa joke. Okay. So purple guy is the Hifumi, to pink guy's Celeste.
Oh, I get it.
It's long been the dream of science
Accomplices.
fiction to find a way to transfer the consciousness of a
Yeah.
human into a stronger, smarter,
No,
longer-lasting robot
Hey,
body. And you can't make such an important
Right.
omelet without
Tra-
breaking a few
transfer
codes along
a
the way.
human
Models
spirit
needed to be
into a
tested,
robot.
perfected,
It's
inspected,
Mike
and
Bot before
rejected
Mike
before
Bot.
taking the clones undergoing
I
the
was going to
process
say it's
themselves.
Remnant.
The funds generated by the Fazbear restaurants helped the phone guy get the best laboratory gear money could buy. But he needed test
In the
subjects as well,
1990s?
which one he could not buy. So he turned the restaurant about a bear into a honeypot and had the subjects come to him. If some kids or security guards disappeared along the way,
These things happen sometimes.
even Disneyland has had fatalities. The restaurant could withstand the occasional incident now and then. We see some of CEO Phone Guy's mad reasoning in the ghost posters and newspaper clippings. His vow that these robots will live on in the hearts of children sounds like a Walt Disney Vision statement until you apply the mad scientist
Henry,
logic
why?
filter and realize Phone Guy is making robots powered by literal human children's hearts.
No.
The mad scientist mindset is also revealed in the complete passage quoted in the garbled night fight phone call. An excerpt
Oh,
from
no, the joy of
Autobiography a
creation.
Yogi. Sir, it is lamentable that mass air culture
Mad scientist, boys.
fuller use of your marvelous
Absolute
mechanisms would not be
magic.
physically possible to
That's
replace
book
them
William.
with
Which is
quick
funny, because
microwave
William Afton in the
experiments would
books
indicate
is a mad
influence of various
scientist.
types of fertilizer
That's what I
and
just
fertilizer.
said.
You are right. Countless uses of Bose instruments will be made by future generations. The scientist seldom knows contemporaneous reward.
You know what,
It is
Scott-
enough to possess
Scott
the joy of
sometimes
creative
does take from
service.
fan work.
Paraphrased, your machines are not used or appreciated by the public now, but they will be in the future. If you allow it, my experiments will prove their usefulness. I don't care about rewards. Doing science itself is enough. This could be a
What
letter
kind
from
of-
Phone Guy to the original owner of Fredbear's Family Diner, the builder of the first
Wiley.
animatronic, an innocent machine made to entertain children.
Cake
Phone Guy
Bear?
is convincing him to sell over the rights, but has a very different vision of what the animatronics might become. This explains why Phone Guy left 4 kids in suits and let them rot there for years and years, and why in spite of having every reason to either burn the possessed animatronics
Burn 'em.
and hide the evidence, or stay away from the robots to keep out of range of their vengeance, Phone Guy stayed in the restaurant himself each night, at a large risk to his own person. He needed to study the
And
kids
then he
to see how
died.
well each model was working, performing
he
experiments,
died,
making
like an
adjustments
idiot.
when necessary, attempting to control them with only limited success. Naturally, this
Wow.
work was very messy, so he had his
Limited,
faithful
zero.
/ coerced minion by his side for that. The next few jumps are tricky, and the only way to advance is by asking another question. We know Phone Guy gave the order for the secret rooms to be sealed, but he apparently died, overwhelmed
Yeah.
and stuffed into a Freddy suit by the kids in the 4th night phone call.
This
in
dude
New York.
has established
Game
his own, like,
we see the
FNAF
demise of
canon.
all the Game 1 animatronics when Purple Guy comes back, creating incredible danger to hunt down 4 killer robots in a restaurant that's been abandoned for years, all to re-kill the same kids he already killed years earlier. We know Springtrap was in the secret room when Dude Guy uncovered it, so he must have been inside when the sealing happened, which means the
When
sealing was
Dude
supposed
Guy-
to after the minigames of
Dude
Game 3,
Guy.
which happened
Dude
after
Guy,
Phone Guy
Dude
died.
Guy.
Why would Phone Guy
What's
order
up,
the sealing
Dude
after his
Guy?
death? If he had the
What's up,
foresight to
Dude
predict his
Guy?
own death, wouldn't he have the
What's
foresight
up,
to
my
avoid it?
How
To get
are
to
you,
the
my
answer,
fellow
we need to
dude
first play
guy?
a little game.
My
I'm
name's
going to
Bob.
ask you a
What's up,
question.
Yo,
Red Slice,
You
Red
understand
Slice
how well you
Dog?
know your Five
Dude
Nights
Guy.
lore and how well you've been paying attention. The question is, can you name an
I haven't
animatronic
been
that
paying
physically
attention.
survived until the title Five Nights
How would
3
I
besides
wanna pay
Springtrap?
attention to that?
The puppet.
A lot of you will probably say
The
the marionette,
Marionettist.
and as much as I'd like it to be the case, it isn't so.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Oh, really?
do more fucking
It's funny because the
research.
Marionettist's profile picture is the marionette.
Oh, really?
Wait, what did he ask? What was his question?
What
Who
what
is the
other
only
animatronics
physically
besides
surviving
Springtrap survived
animatronic
until FNAF
besides
3?
Springtrap?
Puppet.
Oh,
Exactly.
Wrong.
It isn't so.
Exactly.
Correct.
What?
Correct.
Especially in modern FNAF age, we like, yeah.
Hi, I'm bad,
Many have pointed
but
out that
not
Marionette's
as
mask
what
seems
you
to
think.
disappear whenever
Cut.
Springtrap gets too close on camera 8. However, look closely. The
Cut
reason the
to
mask is dark is that
Ignition's
Springtrap is
profile
blocking the
picture.
light, but you can still see the shadow of
Yeah.
the mask's chin in spite of it. The mask hasn't moved, it's just very hard to see.
I'm already
And while the
looking at
Marionette's
it. It's a
image looks
prop.
lifelike right down to the reflection, it still has the burned phantom look in
That-
your office.
that's because that's the
clincher, though, is that
hallucination.
Marionette's
The
paper
one in the
plate doll
puddle
lays
is actually the
defeated in
real
the
one.
office box along with
It's
the
a fucking
animatronic heads. The Marionette is dead.
There are two
No.
The most
puppets.
popular answer would be Mangle.
Well-
since
The
she is never
Marionette
expressly
is
named as one of
dead.
the Phantom animatronics at the end of the
She's
game.
not
But if you enhance her image in camera 4,
Well, there
she's
is
burnt,
Springtrap
just like
and
the others.
closer
The top part of her
Springtrap.
head is in the box as well. Mangle is dead. Nobody seems to know
Yeah.
where Bonnie's ghost went, although from the minigames it's pretty clear
Bonnie
who
has
the as well. And many of the
disappeared.
toy animatronic ghosts aren't accounted for either. Anything's possible, but the answer
Bonnie
I'm looking
disappeared
for is
because
someone
his
we're
guitar
sure is
got
alive,
trademarked.
someone we never saw die. Perhaps I should rephrase
Yeah,
the
screw
question.
you
In
guys, I'm
Five
going to
Nights
heaven.
3, who is still standing?
Springtrap.
We know that Springtrap is alive, not just
I-
because his menacing
I know that
presence is
music.
everywhere, but because of this.
It's me.
Springtrap's paper doll is still standing,
Oh yeah,
which
it
means
is
Spring
me.
Bonnie is still alive.
That's the
And
same
so is
character.
Spring Freddy.
Oh, are you gonna
I
take...
A
mean,
much darker,
Are you
yellower
gonna-
version of the
Corner
third
Freddy,
doll lurks
Corner
in the game
Freddy,
files of
Corner
Five Nights
Freddy.
3. And while I
Corner
haven't
Freddy,
found a
Corner
screenshot of it
Freddy.
appearing in game, it was clearly meant to be found. Two standing
Okay, yeah,
paper
that's in the
plates,
game.
two yellow
flipping
paper plates,
stab.
and two yellow characters
Okay.
on stage in the secret
He's
mini games that must be
technically
the
right
first
on this
Fazbear
point,
Entertainment restaurant.
but
If the first paper plate is the Marionette,
how
and the
does
second
this
paper
get you
plate
to that
heralds the
point? No,
arrival of
Fredbear's
Spring
still
Bonnie /
alive.
Springtrap.
He
That stands
still
to reason that
survived.
the third paper sculpture tells of the continued existence
Just
of
only
Springtrap,
half
even
of
if he's
Fredbear
outside
is
the
currently
attraction.
alive.
Spring Freddy. A second adult human crushed inside a Springlock suit.
No.
What would he look
okay,
like?
that's where you're
Probably
wrong.
similar to Springtrap
Yeah.
in many ways.
You
You were
Yeah.
you were going on the path of right, and then you spiraled down.
Oh, no.
Half-
No.
half city
No.
exists.
Which is why our new friend Nightmare Freddy, with his sprouting demonic heads, is out of the running. Beyond this, we
Nightmare
can come up with
Freddy.
a
Wait, what
million
was the
theories
video?
about how Spring Freddy
Oh.
met.
25th,
GG's
July
gone.
21st, 2015.
God.
I would like to
GG's back.
mention, when this showed up, I was like, no, don't say the nightmares of Springlock suits. Don't do it.
Did
I
he
mean, they
say
got
it?
five
Did they
fingers.
say it?
No.
Yeah.
Good.
They have
Well-
five
I mean,
fingers.
Ignition-
Well, you were
Ignition,
you were
nightmares
right
do
about
have 5 fingers.
you were right about point 1, 3, and 4. The
Angry.
organic part, though.
I beg to
That-
differ.
No, organic robots are only in the books.
You have to wait till you
Heads
see him for
is
him to
out
be
of the
given
running.
flesh.
Beyond this, we can come up with a million theories about how Spring Freddy might look, but in
It's
the
just
end,
Golden
such
Freddy.
theorizing is useless.
It's just Fredbear.
Because-
That's it.
We already have a picture.
You what? Don't you dare. you
Stop
what?
it.
And, as you can tell from the sharp, bloody
Hey, sharp bloody fangs, the longer bright snap. This isn't
Are
Springtrap.
you fucking kidding?
This
Get
is
out of
Springtrap.
here.
Stop bringing salvage back after we know it's
This
Springtrap.
isn't Springtrap. This is a
It is.
My boy Salvage deserves better.
Teaser image for Five Nights 3.
Don't worry,
Danny.
he became
I am
Nightmare
still here.
Fredbear.
What a strange thing to say. We've never met Spring Freddy until
You can tell it is
I
Springtrap.
know he was
Or
here
maybe
before.
it's
Literally.
Springtrap.
I think he had left. Unless we have met this creature
Freaking pause.
before and had a very good reason.
Sorry, I'm vibing.
But
Oh yeah,
then
his
too.
music good
you
song.
have met him before.
That's
He's
good
the
song.
killer.
He's the one that you got killed
He's
by.
the killer.
Well, hello there.
He was
My
gone.
name is Springtrap.
I'm in the
No.
walls.
not
Oh,
Golden
it's
Freddy.
Golden. You're gonna put up Golden Freddy. That one. Hi.
Which means the phone guy must be the one, the only.
Power thirst, uncomfortably energetic, 400 baby. The energy drink will make your heart soar. What are you waiting for? Air blasters.
Okay.
This is a joke, by the way.
What
I've
the
been pretty mysterious
hell
so
did I
far,
just
haven't
look
I?
at?
Avoid saying the name of one
That was
famous
a joke,
character
non
over and over
sequitur,
again,
to not
despite
reveal
so
the
many
name.
chances to deliver the bombshell revelation. So why don't I just come out and say it? Why don't I stand on the mountaintop and know the
But you don't know the name.
phone guy is Golden Freddy?
Simple.
Because it's
He's
wrong.
not.
Yeah.
Phone guy is the pink guy, the designer of the restaurants,
Nah.
CEO of Fazbear
Nah.
Entertainment, the
No,
designer of
that
the
would be-
entrance, spring suits, and
Henry
fellow
has the
designer
blue
of
That would make
phone.
him
a
Henry.
special GF suit with the help of the purple guy, the technician.
That's why he
was
has
currently
the blue
stuck in the
phone,
GF suit
because
with Spring
phone-
Freddy before the script was complete by the kids during Game 1, Night 4 phone call. But Phone Guy is not.
That's why
Golden
Henry
Freddy.
has the blue phone.
It's
It
time to
has
tell the
because
story
of
of our
phone
third
guy.
killer theme character, an old
Still,
friend,
the
which,
I'm
despite
still
his
here
repeated
thing
attempts to
is
kill us
legit
long
a
ago
reference to how
animatronics, is
Springtrap
far more
was in
likable
the
than the Coen
walls.
Brothers.
Still
Child number
here.
5. Golden
He
Freddy.
can't escape
Yeah.
these
Hero of Five
restaurants.
Nights 3. We've all seen the last 50
well,
cutscenes. Boy plays the
That's the
ghost of a
smile
Freddy
You're
without
half
a
right.
suit. Finally, in that secret
Cool.
room,
Well, you're
also
halfway.
half
You're
right.
missing
lives
one
in a
more
spring bunny
person.
suit in spite of being wet, causing the springs to give up, and Purple Guy being crushed and transformed into a
Ha!
spring trap.
Ha!
What we haven't seen
Ha!
is the beginning of
You
this
can't
story,
get
and just
me
what a
now!
poetic reversal of the confrontation is.
Arr!
Purple
I
Guy,
should have
like
saw
the
this one
Golden
coming.
Freddy, donned the
How
SB
did I
suit and
not
tempted
see
the
this
5 kids to
yet?
climb into the other
You
spring
fucking
suits,
dumb.
and raced about with rabbit speed to spring crank the children, impaling them
Nothing
in the
bad ever
animatronics.
happens to the
Pink Guy
Africans.
forgot to mention one important detail, though. Exactly
Pink Guy.
which suits the Purple Guy should use for the deed. So after Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were loaded, Purple Guy got a dark idea. Whether it was inspired by a sense of impish rebellion
dark
against the Pink
idea.
Guy, or the
That's how it
irresistible
became Dark
prospect
Springtrap.
causing more anguish to an even larger number of people, Purple Guy made a choice Heath
Causing
Ledger's
more
Joker
agony.
would approve of. He put the 5th child into the boss's own golden GF suit. We know this for a fact.
That
because
do
the
it.
happiest
Golden,
day final
golden.
secret minigame,
Screw
where the
you,
marionette delivers
boss.
the last cake to the 5th child as the first 4 look on. And
Golden-
child number 5
golden
dons a
gold
lighter
puncher.
colored Freddy mask that mirrors child number 1's. Child number 5
But
is
then
indeed
where'd the
Golden Freddy,
puppet
and was
suit come
stuck for
from?
that
Pass
suit.
off,
However,
poor
once
child.
Phone Guy
The
discovered
fact
what
that
had
Puppet's
happened,
mask
he
is
Hi,
was
Red Bear.
furious. Phone Guy was content to let the first 4
Red
children
Bear,
wear
Red Guy.
their respective
Red
suits,
Bear.
finding the very symbol of his
Angry.
own authority, his personal
No
spirit.
talk to
filled
be
with
angry.
Golden
agony.
GF suit hopelessly defiled by a child's blood and guts? It was too much! He had child number 5's body removed and disposed of, and did what he could to repair his beloved suit. What became of child number 5's body, we may never know, but we do know that his spirit
Easy.
refused to leave the restaurant. This is a
Easy,
special
it just
thing about
became a
Golden
part of
Freddy.
the
While
suit
others
again.
became possessed suits of furry power armor a la Full Metal
already
Alchemist,
been a
Golden
year.
Freddy has no suit of his own, and has always
Full
been
Metal
a ghost
Alchemist.
from
Wrong.
the beginning. This is why in the
Full
Give
Metal
Life
Alchemist.
minigame, Golden Freddy has no body to receive a gift, appearing as a dead child for 1 frame before jump scaring the player. And this is why you see the light shining from inside
But
your
that's an
spectral
actual
head
suit
in the
then.
bad ending of Five Nights 3, and why the Fed is completely missing in the good end once the spirits are departed along with the lights. There never was
Because
a fistful
F you
head.
guys,
Speaking
I
of
want
ghosts, those with
genocide.
a good eye will have already noticed that Phantom Freddy in Game 3 is none other than Freddy himself. Real Freddy might be in charge.
That's one of the
but
part I
Golden Freddy is
agree
the
with.
expert at being a ghost, so he takes the lead
Yeah,
this
'cause
game,
it has
with child
no
number 1
ear.
filling the rare spooky
Golden
office
Freddy's
cameo
a
role
smart
instead.
ghost.
They all work together to
Likely
scare the
because
pants off
he's
the
too
utter
ghosts.
morons who broke open the secret room and unleashed Springtrap upon an unsuspecting world again, thinking it would sell lots of
Pause.
carnival tickets. Remember the stupid guy who read the
I already mentioned how Phantom Freddy had brown.
Hold on, if I can say something amazing. He mentions that someone broke Springtrap out of the safe room.
Yes.
He broke
Now, where was
himself out.
Springtrap for 30 years?
FNAF 1. It's
In a safe room. He's
Necronomicon
still there
and
in
summoned
that
Cthulhu and was then
room.
eaten by Same. You're basically that guy in the 3rd game. It's no wonder the kids don't like you. Speaking of the kids, have you noticed
Yeah,
how
'cause
their
you
ghosts
killed
still
them.
retain the shape and properties of the suits they were stuffed into, in spite of no longer having a physical presence? Keep this in mind, it becomes important later. Going back to Golden Freddy, it might be possible for him to possess the GF suit when it isn't being piloted by a human. But, as we can clearly see
Or
in Five
there's
Nights
2.
2, someone
Oh.
is piloting the GF
What?
suit.
Yeah.
This, and every external physical detail,
Shadow
looks to
Freddy.
be the very,
Very
same
same
suit and the very same
It's
pose
not
as
like
Golden
just
Freddy when
a
child number
different
5
What if he's
skin
not a
enters
texture.
your
suit?
office.
What if he's a
But this
spooky,
isn't
spooky
him.
ghost?
Meet color character number 4, Purple Freddy. The physical GF suit
Purple
being
Freddy.
piloted by a human. He isn't actually purple, just appears that way through the true seeing power of simple
You
8-bit
what?
vision and image
Why is it
enhancement.
only
Showing us
Metapony
this
stuff?
isn't Golden Freddy. This is Spring Freddy.
You
Although
what?
it's an early version. In Game 2, the suit is yet to be renovated.
Where's the
spring
Springlock
frozen
hand?
outside, and given time to ferment into the future organic mechanical horror.
Where's
of
the
Spring
hand?
Trap. But Purple Freddy is destined to become a foe far more terrifying than the Bunny Man.
Yes, because yeah, but wait,
Purple.
but here's the
Purple.
Magenta!
here's the
Man.
problem. Here's the problem though. He doesn't have a purple hat or bow tie. His hat and
I'd
bow
like
tie
to
are
note something
black.
about Magenta. Magenta is the perfect in-between between purple and pink.
Yeah.
That's the color of
Notice how
William.
the eyes light up so brightly? We see the same thing from the spring bunny suit when Purple Guy enters it. That definitely
No.
means there's a human inside. The 8-bit Golden Freddy sprites
No.
from the second game show this property as well. You can think of Purple Freddy as
That
Golden
means
Freddy's
that means
opposite.
that
The
was
colors
Ronnie,
purple and yellow,
Freddy,
aka gold,
Foxy,
as Golden
because he
Freddy was
always
originally
has it
called
on.
Yellow Bear in Game 1, are opposites
That
on the color
means
wheel,
that
which is
means
why Purple
that
Freddy
means
is
Freddy
purple.
Mask
He's the
Kid
inverse
does
of Golden
is not
Freddy.
possessed.
Evil instead of good, physical instead of ghostly, a guilty adult instead of an innocent child, purple instead of gold. And Purple Freddy is the key to the huge
If we can
elephant in
pause.
the room question in Game 3 that set everything in motion. Why did the purple guy come back? If our purple pal was trying to be cruel,
Because
then
he
the most
owns
this game could have done was nothing. Just leave the rusting robots in a leaking restaurant until time and the elements blissfully obliterated them at last.
Well, the problem is, in modern FNAF, we know he can't let that happen because then
If
he
we can
won't live
pause for a
forever.
sec, there's something that I just realized. So he said only characters with spirits inside them have the glowing eyes, right?
Hmm?
Does that mean Freddy Mask Kid from FNAF 4 has no soul?
I don't get it.
Extend their suffering
Also,
for
Freddy
that
Mask Kid in
no
FNAF
personal
4 had
risk
no light in his
whatsoever.
eyes.
Not that I'd accuse
Also,
a child
that
of
means
advanced reasoning
Bonnie,
skills, but while an adult
Freddy,
overpowering 5-10-year-olds is
Foxy.
sadistic and messed up, outfitting those same 5 kids with towering suits of furry power armor, and then dueling all 4 of the remaining suits to the death, one after
come
another,
on,
while armed with
hold on.
nothing but his wits and a hit them first or die horribly spring crank tool is just plain
That
stupid.
show.
Even deranged psychos understand that self-preservation is a positive thing that should be a very high priority.
That's
So
just
what in the
plain
devil's
stupid.
domain could inspire the purple guy to challenge 4 killer robots with every reason to hate him, to play Mortal Kombat against him and his trusty stick? There's only one explanation, that the person who ordered him to go back into the restaurant scared him even more than the kids did.
Nah.
And look who else we
Or
find
he just
lurking
was
about the
angry.
restaurant. Purple Freddy, Spring Freddy, Springtrap's cursed
Oh, that's
fraternal
why you're
twin,
calling him
the
Purple.
GF suit permanently stuffed with a large helping of
Purple
phone guy.
Freddy.
Since we don't know Spring Freddy's cool supervillain name yet,
Why are we
I'm
in
going to
Final
simplify
Fantasy
things
boys?
and call this
Shadow
creature
Freddy,
Phone
that's
Freddy.
why.
It's lame, but it's simple. and
Shadow
very
Freddy.
Simple is good. It's
Shadow
very unlikely
Freddy.
that Purple Guy could defeat Phone Freddy the same way he did
No.
the kids. Phone Guy designed the suits, and with a bit of grim self-operation,
No, he didn't.
he could make himself
He's a
spring
ghost.
crank proof. The GF suit is also advanced, and acts like real power armor under its cute funtime exterior.
No.
And Phone Guy is one of the
He
crappiest
really
people
doesn't.
who used to be alive. No innocent white-eyed kid trying to relearn how to walk. Phone Freddy is also either retained or
I'm
regained
still
use of Phone
here.
Guy's voice, since we know he gave
He's
the order to
not
seal
Shadow
the suit rooms
Freddy.
after his stuffing. So Phone Freddy can still pretend to be Phone Guy, as if nothing whatsoever were horribly wrong. Chances are Phone Guy even wore the GF suit around the office, so people are used to seeing it and know it's him. And most office folks are wise enough not to annoy an eccentric boss with probing questions, especially when he can literally rip off your head when he gets mad. There's no law in the US to
You
keep
sure?
a deranged undead robotic Ursine Terminator from being
I'm
the
sure
CEO of
about
a
that.
Fortune 500 company. So Phone Freddy might have kept things going for quite a while before people began to really notice the changes.
You
He
what?
could simply run things as a voice over the phone for much longer. Phone Freddy would have his choice
Well, you're not wrong about that. What do you have to say about that, Henry?
No,
The one who we thought were dead for the longest time.
I'm still here.
of intimidations when it came to
I am
handling the
still
troublesome
here.
Purple Guy. He could threaten to release all the extensive videos of him killing children, or he could lazily bite off Purple Guy's head. He felt generous enough to give the
Wait, if
troublesome
we can
technician
pause.
his personal choice of
Fighting 3.
Hold on, wait a minute. Recordings of the murders.
Well, it
That
was
was-
recorded.
Yeah, but he was in a bunny suit.
Yes, that's why he wasn't fully arrested. But I like to think, I'm just like imagining just like pink guy holding a video camera.
Have the camera.
That's right. Kill the children. Kill the children.
Alright, bro, you can shut up about it.
doom for not following orders. Phone Freddy also has an excellent reason to return to the restaurant. Revenge. Like any Scooby-Doo
Well,
villain who knows just how
both of them.
humiliating it is to have
Yeah.
your ingenious
That's
plan
what almost
spoiled by a
every
group of
FNAF
5
character
weirdly
comes
dressed
back
kids
in
in a
this place
hipster
for.
van. Phone Guy has been downgraded from being Dr. Frankenstein to instead being the monster named after him. Famous for cavorting with Tonto and Tarzan when he isn't playing
Wait.
patriarch to the monsters. Just the thing to bruise a psychopath's infinite ego. And this revenge is limited
This is
only
just
to
a
the 5
joke.
kids in question. If anything should happen
Pause.
to the Purple Guy
I'm
himself
back.
along the way, bonus. Phone Freddy is now permanently stuck in a suit that smells like failure and dead kid. The Purple Guy being responsible for at least one of those things. Ever try to put on an old fursuit head that someone else has sweated and farted in for over a decade? Gross! Blech. Also, having Spring Bonnie and his pilot sealed
has
away
to
from
be
the
a
world
joke,
for a few
right?
decades removes the chance of Purple Guy blackmailing Phone Freddy back. or leaking the news
It's
that he's
so
really a
hard to
monster
tell.
to a press very willing to believe and report such things. Revenge on the kids, revenge on the purple guy. Five Nights 3 was a win for Phone Freddy. There's also no sign of the GF suit when child number 5 enters the secret room, although we've seen it enter the room repeatedly, evidence that someone else walked away with it or in it. Purple guy's been cowering in the secret room, waiting for Phone Freddy to learn an animatronic, and diving out to stab them in the back before retreating back to safety, leaving the suit pieces behind. If salvage was the goal, the Color Brothers would have gathered up the robotic pieces, and instead, they left them strewn about the room like garbage. Revenge had to be the motive.
Or
Child
it
number
was
5
just to
appears
free
to
the
us as
child's
little
souls
crying ghost
intentionally
because
to
he
get
has no suit of
remnant.
his own, and 8-bit vision shows the truth of things. The purple guy, though, child number 5 looks like this.
Yeah.
Which is why Purple Guy is freaking out big time. Which
Well,
goes back to child number 5 and Purple Guy, and the issue where each of the Phantoms still resemble the suit they were stuffed in.
Hi there,
the Purple
Phantom
Guy thought he
Freddy.
was safe in the secret room. After all, no animatronics can enter it. At least that's what the phone guy said, but think back, and you'll notice you've already seen an animatronic near the secret room over and over.
That's-
Phone Freddy can
but
enter
he-
it. After all,
but he-
phone guy
but
designed the
he's
restaurant.
not
He's a
so
good
he might
animatronic.
save his personal
He's
belongings
agony.
from the wall. Sure, he told you no animatronics can enter, but Spring Bonnie can go back there.
I just-
and did you
hold
really
on,
think
if
he
we
would put such
I just realized
restriction in his own
Ignition's picture
suit?
is just
One of
puppet
the
with a
advanced
lot of
features
agony.
of the GF suit is they can enter the secret room. This is why you see four
Agony.
ghosts hanging
That's
out
not-
at the
that wasn't
entrance to
even the
secret room
original
during the final
intention.
confrontation with the purple guy. They don't enter the secret room because
Inadvertently,
they
you are
can't
now
enter the
agony
secret
puppet.
room.
Well, yes,
Each
they
ghost has
can.
performed
It's just that
restrictions
they're
of the
watching.
animatronics they were stuffed into. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy cannot enter the secret room.
No, they
But
can't.
Golden Freddy can.
Yes, I can.
And so it was
Watch.
that when Purple Guy made his sick joke and stuffed child number 5 into the boss's GF suit, he unwittingly created a being with the power to destroy him. When child number 5
I love how they call
barged
it
into the secret
GF
room,
suit.
Purple
Yes,
Guy knew he
yes.
was
It
toast.
sounds like
After several
girlfriend
moments
suit.
of panicking and
That's what I've
dancing
been
away
saying
from the
this
Lord
entire
Bear
time.
Spectre chasing him, knowing the other
My
four would
boy
tear him
be
apart if he
running.
tried the door, Purple Guy made a last desperate gambit, turning once again to the Spring Bonnie suit, seeming to think it would protect him. But the
But
roof
water.
was leaking and the springs were wet,
Yep.
and the rest is history.
He's
So
dead.
why is the Color Brothers theory so important? Besides clarifying all the events we've gone over so far, it's the
I
key
know
to
that
unlocking
song.
another great mystery of the series. First, though, I have another question for you. If we know that this is child number 5, and this is
It
child number
isn't.
5, and this is Phone Freddy, and this is Phone Freddy,
Then who's flying the
is
plane?
this?
It's
Golden Freddy.
It's
It's
Cash.
child number 5.
This one
Child
is
number
really
5.
hard. Let's review everything
Child
we know
number
about the very
5.
This
first
one
Golden
is
Freddy.
really
His appearances are random in the
I
Child
say-
number
At the very
5.
beginning of the West Hall corner picture.
I
Child
choose
number
my
five.
vote. Who do you think this one
Accompanied by the
is?
sound of the spectral
Child number-
beetle. The next time you close the
Is
camera
that your
screen,
final
Golden
answer?
Freddy is in the room. You can
Yes!
bash him by putting up the camera
You
again.
win a
If
new
you stare at it
car.
for 5 seconds, you get his
This
jump
is child
scare.
number-
Unique sound
This
called
is still child
roaring.
number
A
5.
roaring adult.
Same.
Yes.
Same.
The screen is
Reality.
black. No image of you stuffed
This
into a
is child
Freddy
number
suit.
five.
No way to
Same
return to the
character.
title screen. The game is over for good. It's long been argued
This
that
is the
Golden
same
Freddy must be a
character.
ghost or a hallucination
Same
because
as
his image
Withered.
doesn't appear on any of the background cameras in the office.
Bruh.
These
That's
cameras
child
are
number
finicky
5.
at best.
Bruh.
Usually the cameras are completely
Say
black,
child
so
number
nothing is to be
5.
advances. We can't see what they show during Bonnie and Chia's jump scares because they completely block line of sight.
Yes.
The cameras only truly activate when Foxy steps through the door. as
What?
if there's some sort of motion trigger in the doorway. For an
Lighting
instant,
turns
you can also
off.
see Freddy in the cameras just when his jump scare begins. Although whether this is the camera image or the mere reflection of him in the glass, it's hard to tell. If Golden Freddy got into the
I
office
actually
through a
never knew
floor
that.
hatcher vent,
No, I
he might
didn't
have
see that
avoided
either.
activating the motion sensors.
There's
If he
no
were
reflection.
quickly and
Child
silently
Of him
number
being a
5.
separate
the
image.
cameras might have deactivated
This is
before
a
you could
child
look.
number
He blocks
5.
the left monitors, and the right ones are too far
that
away
your
to show
final
a
answer?
reflection. I mean, we would have to triangulate
Yes.
all the vision fields in the right side camera system to make sure they cover the exact spot in the
You win a
office
new
where Golden
car.
Freddy appears, which is hard because the
win
images don't seem entirely
$10,000.
consistent. To make the case that the original GF
If
is
you go
child
to a
number 5,
best
we can
suit,
say the
it
giggling
does.
sound that plays during the
Because he's
picture
Golden
is his, and the
Freddy.
adult screaming sound
If
is
they're
Will
both-
Schmidt losing his
Cassidy for
crap.
some reason.
Child number 5
Well.
is a ghost, so this is entirely consistent with the ghost invisible.
Or
in
it's
the
just a
camera.
Cassidy
slowed
for
down
being
child
Golden
screen.
We
Freddy,
can also
being
make the
child
case that
number
Jeff is a
5.
freshly stuffed
Here's the
Golden
thing,
Freddy.
but
Still
here's the
really
biggest
hilarious
thing.
and
With
furious
the Golden
after
Freddy is
prom,
the same
ready
as
to lash out
FNAF
anyone
1
or
Golden
anything.
Freddy. They're the
Too
same
many guilty
character.
monster to have yet developed the horrid
They're the same
gang mashup
thing.
we see in Springtrap. The pink guy has black eyes, which could be why the
Bruh,
original GF
not
has
this
20
again.
pinpricks and gaping empty eye
If we can
holes. Literally
pause.
speaking, there's a human body inside that suit, but
Does he know about
Bruh.
Corner Freddy?
He
Hasn't even-
actually does some light point out. but it's not really. He just says it's Spring Freddy.
Metaphorically speaking,
If he knows
Sue is
about
empty,
Corner
filled with
Freddy,
a killer devoid of the living
he's
soul
going
which
to
animates
blow
most
his
of us.
mind.
Phone Guy designed the restaurants and would know any hidden means of getting about.
Oh,
So it's
you
not
be Yellow
inconceivable
Bear,
that
but
he
you're
knows a way into
also
your
Yellow
office
Bear.
other than the doors. And moving quickly and silently might be advanced powers of the
You
GF.
what?
And viewing the event from the perspective that Phone Freddy is our visitor, the giggling noise at the portrait could be the kids laughing at Phone Freddy after they stuffed him, rubbing their
what?
victory in. And the unique
No.
adult war you hear
I already know what we're gonna call part 1 of this
himself,
series.
howling out in anger as he tears the player limb from limb. This would also explain the blackness at the end. Mike Schmidt has not been stuffed into a Freddy suit to return as a robotic zombie. Mike Schmidt is actually and truly dead, game permanently over.
Yeah.
Now we have an impasse.
Yeah.
There are compelling arguments for the original GF to be either
It's
Child
Child
Number 5 or
5.
Phone Freddy. Is there any way to
He's
break this
Child Number
tie?
5.
There
Just
is.
title
However, to
this
find it,
video
we have to
Purple
ask
Freddy.
one final question. One of the most famous
What's
questions
its
ever
name?
asked about the game. Who is Mike Schmidt?
Oh,
Knowing the
no.
meta- we know Scott
Oh,
Kaufman
boy,
has
here we
admitted in a
go.
message that he's had
my
two
name
beta
is Michael
testers
Schmidt
helping him from the
Afton.
beginning, and that I'm sure you could guess who they are. These must be the real-world Mike Schmidt
Freddy.
and Jimmy Fitzgerald.
I
Truly
never
great
know-
for playing these games
What
over
happened?
and over and over. Scott would make sure to give
Hold on. Stop.
Are you?
Hold on. Wait a minute.
from the beginning, and that I'm sure you could guess who they are. These must be the real-world Mike Schmidt and Jeremy Fitzgerald. True heroes indeed for playing these games over and over and over. Scott would make sure to give each of his friends an important
That-
character in the game, with the player
You
getting to be
can't
the
really
protagonist
trust
and Scott
Scott.
himself playing the principal.
Yeah.
villain.
The animatronics are legit laughing at you.
I like to note something. Mike Schmidt was likely named after an actual baseball player.
Can I mention? Did you hear what I said? The animatronics are legit laughing at you for how dumb this is.
There's a baseball player named Mike Schmidt.
Zayna.
You know, this is the post that gave us the "My name is Springtrap."
Oh.
You see it?
Huh.
My
Trap.
name
Name
is
William Afton.
Trap.
William Afton.
By the way,
I also
go
like
see-
to note, the baseball player Mike Schmidt is number 20 on the Baseball 100.
I have two faithful beta testers that always help me out. Most of you probably know who they are. If you didn't know, those are his two kids. Not the real life Mike Smith and Jeremy Fitzgerald.
Those are his children.
True
That was
heroes
a
indeed for
joke.
playing these games over and over and
That
over.
was a one-off
Scott would
joke.
make sure to give each of his friends an important character in the game, with the player getting to be the protagonist and Scott himself playing the principal villain.
The animatronics are laughing
If
at
you've
you,
seen my
bud.
first episode of the Final Theory, you know what I think happened to
If
Jeremy
we are
Fitzgerald,
the
who he ends up
YouTuber,
becoming,
nothing
and
else.
what he then did to ruin
In memes, there's the answer to who is Mike Schmidt. It is local baseball play. It is Baseball Hall of Famer Mike Schmidt.
Phone Guy's plans of culinary conquest. He's a hero whose story remains to be told, who endured great personal
He's
sacrifice
not
That's what I
and
want-
may never be
Three.
recognized by
Whatever
the world.
That's what I
that
want
is.
This
this
is the name of the
to
player
do.
in Game 3 because he isn't important. One of two schmucks who were tricked into releasing Springtrap was more or less the star of Game 3 himself.
Yeah.
Mike
That's
got
what
to
I
star
want
in
this
Game
theory
1,
to do, go
Jeremy
down in a
starred
fire.
Game 2, so Mike got to go again in Game 3,
in
and
a
Jeremy is
fire.
bound to show up again in Game 4. Smith, the temp of Night 7 of Game 2, is only a minor character who gets fired.
Ironic.
What happened? What did you say?
He's saying that Jeremy and Mike are important while Fritz is not.
That is very true.
Very ironic.
Alright, bud.
That is actually still true today. Fritz has no importance on this franchise.
Unless he is Michael Afton.
There's 3 jammies, 2 Mikes.
Very same night. Fritz is a common
And
German
two's
first
Fritz.
name, while Smith is a common English last name, so the game itself sounds made up. The only really important role Fritz has is to show you that on night 7, Jeremy is gone, which leaves the security guard of Game 1, the enigmatic Mike Schmidt. And while I criticized him in comments in the first Game Theory episode for his conclusion about Game 1, I must now apologize to MatPat, because in the first episode, he got it right on the first shot.
Yeah,
I've
he's
always wanted to
He
say that
actually
Mike
was
Schmidt
very
was the purple
wrong.
guy.
He's
But
not
going
the
by the
purple
single
guy.
villain theory, it seemed impossible.
Oh god, Mike Trap before Mike Trap. No. No.
Phone guy have to be the purple guy? But if
It's
Phone
Mike
Guy
Trap
is
before
purple,
his
why
sister
the heck is he
location
writing
became a
messages to
thing.
himself? Is this some weird version of the movie Memento?
No
I'm
matter
hearing
what,
rumor on night
Michael
4
will
that Phone
likely
Guy,
be
the purple
confused
guy,
for the
is
killer.
dead. So Mike Schmidt can't
Yep.
possibly be him. What the heck? Then who is he? We get a clue with how the animatronics treat each security guard differently. In Game 2, the animatronics are indeed trying to kill Jeremy Fitzgerald, but not because of hatred.
Yeah.
They want to stuff him into a Freddy suit because
I
they
want
like
to leave.
him,
This is
and
They
want
like
him to
him.
join
Headache.
them in their fighting
They
against the
like him.
Killers. So while
They
they're trying
actually
to
want
catch
to
him,
kill you
they
because
treat
you're a
Jeremy with a
good one.
strange level of respect and seem genuinely glad to see him. Jeremy is afraid, but afraid for his life, not his very soul. And seeing the animatronics doesn't
I
make
want
him
to
mind-blowing
leave. This is
psychotic
hurting my
person. But
brain.
Mike? The animatronics hate
I feel like I'm going to
the
have a
animatronics
stroke.
hate Mike Schmidt. And now, with the Color Brothers theory,
They
we know
think
something
he's
we
killer,
didn't know
but he's
before.
not.
Phone Guy isn't the purple guy, he's the pink guy, CEO of the company and the purple guy's boss, which leaves an important vacancy in the cast list. So now I can finally say, without any dithering or uncertainty, that Mike Schmidt is the
Wrong.
purple guy, the pilot of Spring
That's
Body
wrong.
and the future Springtrap, which is why Mike never quits his job, never leaves. He's just following orders.
Why does Jeremy
He
not
knows
leave
what his
then?
boss will do to him if he
Yeah,
fails
wait
to
a minute.
again. And while all
Hey,
four of the
wait a-
animatronics scare Mike Schmidt, there's
Why does this
someone
new
else in the
guard not
restaurant,
leave
a
then?
presence that scares him more than the other four
Yeah,
combined.
what about-
The
what about
Phantom
FNAF
keeps
3
changing
guard?
the pictures on the
He doesn't
walls,
leave.
taunting him with evidence of his deeds. Force that can write text on walls even behind a delicate spider web. A creature who seems to be everywhere and nowhere. The rebel who doesn't follow the rules. The cruel joke which is now on him. The monster he created himself and the one he knows in his bones is going to get him in the end. Child number 5, Golden Freddy.
I think that was awesome.
Well, you're right, but that.
Five Nights 4 is coming out on Halloween. Is this really
Nope.
going to be the
It's
final
not.
chapter?
Nope.
Ah, wrong.
No.
Joke's on you.
Not by a long shot.
Mother.
First,
Well,
the
you were
Nightmare
correct on
animatronics
that.
are so incredibly over the
Finally, you
top.
have
There's
something
no
right,
way
man.
anyone could have intended to place them in a restaurant for children. They are quite literally the worst thing anyone could imagine. Creatures that could only exist in nightmares.
Wow.
Because that's literally they kind of spell it out for you.
It's not
They kinda
Phone
look-
Guy. Stop it with the
Can I
phone
say-
guy.
can I say-
There's reverberating 8s and 7s all over
They
the
kind of legit spell
Fox's
it out
Eye
for
having
you.
87 in it. Yeah.
Oh
Each
yeah,
one
because
inside
the bite of
Fox's eye,
87 was
referencing
supposed
back
to
the
be in
bite of
FNAF
87.
4
Same
before
thing.
Scott
Nightmare
changed
animatronics
it.
seems to be taunting you, and
Yeah.
Long
Holding.
story, pause it. Okay, I can explain this. So, Xana wanted to call, but I told them I was in the recording, so I got her here.
Okay. So
I'm
she's
only
yummy.
calling till my I'm only calling till my freaking cousin gets here.
For the record, you're on recording.
Well, at least you listened.
Here we go.
ask, was it me? Which likely places Game 4 somewhere between Game 2 and 1 on the timeline, between 1987 and 1993. And maybe from the perspective
We
of the
going
victim
back
of
to
the
the
Bite of
beginning
87
in this
himself,
game.
the phrase "the final chapter" was famously used by the fourth Friday the 13th
The
movie,
final
and Jason
chapter.
X, 6 movies later, is the one where the world's most brutal hockey enthusiast went into space. Nightmare Freddy's knife fingers
Freddy
are
in
easy reference
space!
to Freddy's namesake Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
That
A
wasn't even what he was
child-killer demonic
referencing.
spirit who kills people in their dreams
was
after
Freddy
turning them into
Bear.
nightmares. And his sprouting demonic heads are a clear shot to Dream Warriors,
What?
the third movie in the series, and arguably the best movie in the
Third
franchise.
movie.
They're talking about the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty horrifying stuff. Oh,
The
and the
streaming
release date of
faces.
Dream Warriors? February 27th, 1987. So Game 4 will likely reveal more about the Bite of 87.
Well, we still haven't gotten the date of where-
If we can pause for a bit.
Desperately
of
trying
when
to stay
FNAF
awake
4
and not slip too
happened.
long into the realm of nightmares.
If
where
we can
literally
pause-
anything could happen. But there are many more chapters of the story.
I love how he references the fact that it's like we started in number 4, the final chapter, and by the 10th film we'll be in space. Freddy in space.
Oh my god.
We haven't met the genius
Freddy in
behind the
space,
first
boys.
animatronic and seen the fall of Fredbear's Family Diner. We
How did
haven't
he
seen the
get
very
that?
first Fazbear restaurant and the rise of the Color Brothers. And we know next to nothing about the mysterious Shadow Bonnie. What hand has he had in this mayhem? I'm still not entirely certain of what all happened the day the second 5 children who became the toy animatronics were killed. If each toy animatronic is the counterpart to one of the
Apparently, we still
originals,
don't know
then
what happened to
Balloon
them.
Boy is the counterpart to
We don't-
Golden
we still don't
Freddy.
know if they're even
What does he play in
haunted.
this story? We've
Balloon
been
Boy
told
is
that
not
Game 3 occurs 30 years after the last Fazbear restaurant closed its doors, but we've never been told what year it is in Game 3. Dude Guy in the newspaper
Not
repeatedly
2023.
ancient and its technology
Yeah,
prehistoric.
30 years after
is a long
FNAF 1.
time, but not so long as to earn such powerful words. Maybe Game 3
It's,
isn't in
it's called a exaggeration.
Hey,
I
they
like
actually
to-
guessed it.
Maybe
It's
it's
called
in
hyperbole.
2123.
No,
If
you
the
were
Bite
right
of 87
years.
before.
Fazbear Entertainment out
Pause.
of business for 6 years before
1993. Then,
This
30 years
guy.
later, what do you get? 2023.
You get bored.
Weird, because that's 3 years from now.
Returned once again as a children's restaurant, then what level of blazing daylight massacre could
That's
force
the
the
curse
chain
to
to
do
close
that.
for 30 years and abandon the idea of ever being a kids' restaurant again? We may have skipped over one or several restaurants between 1993 and
No.
whenever Game 3 occurs. And then, there's
No.
the excellent hook Game 3 left us, on a sequel for future games as well.
We found some great new relics over the weekend, and we're out tracking down a new lead right now.
Dude
Trying
guy.
to track down a good lead right now.
Dude
Some guy
the
who helped
joke
design
has
one of
come
the buildings
true.
says it was like
Dude
an
guy
extra
is dead.
road that got boarded up
Dude
or
guy died.
something like that. So we're gonna take a peek and see what we can find. Okay,
Why is Puppet
keep
Song
an eye
playing?
on things, and we'll
Breathe.
try to have some
Gentlemen.
for you
Second
tomorrow
puppet
night.
song that played.
Someone
Gentlemen,
from outside
I'll
the
have to leave
restaurant
soon.
who never identified
Alright.
himself to be
Alright,
a
let's
guy
get-
and claimed
let's
to be
get
the
this done.
designer of one of the buildings, gave Dude Guy a tip about where to find the secret room in this particular building. A tip
Dude
most
Guy.
likely delivered by phone call, a call that resulted in releasing Mike
We can
Schmidt
pause
upon
for
the
a
world
sec.
again.
Well, why you smile?
Love them or hate them,
Why?
masters need minions. Perhaps without Mike at his side, Phone Freddy wasn't able
That's
to
why
keep the
Vanny
company
exists
and
now.
himself together, especially once the senior management began to
Makes
flee
sense.
from his
If we can
deteriorating
pause.
torch. And after decades of
I
trying
have
to
to
figure
go.
out by himself, unable to fit in with the rest of humanity, unable to die, he finally decided Springtrap had been punished enough and resolved to get the band back together. Or perhaps there's still a hidden spark of tortured humanity inside Phone Freddy, an often ignored piece that after decades of being run down,
Are you
despised
even
and
fan of
alone,
Freddy?
craved to hear the voice of a friend once more. And the only creature
Close
in the
enough.
world approaching the status of friend to him was an undead, sadistic, robotic legomorph. Which is sad, but when you choose to be an evil psychopath, that's what you get. We know that Mike survived the fire, and so oddly did a small Freddy doll, but all that might
Mike
just
Trap.
be the same one that housed the magical music box from Game 2, whatever powers it might possess. Whoever wins that
Powers?
lucky auction might just have
Yeah,
a pair
well,
of uninvited
oh my
guests.
god.
And
I'm
here
a
we end our
magic-
story.
Fredbear.
Looking forward to
Bruh.
Halloween when Game
I
4
just realized-
Lonely Freddy.
Well, it's easy to make theories. We never really know what to expect. But make no mistake, we have more to worry about than ever before. The purple guy is no longer the scariest monster we might encounter. Spring Bonnie is alive. Spring Freddy is alive. And no matter if our next adventure takes us to the past, the
Spring
present, or the
Freddy
future,
does not
all who enter the
exist.
world of Five Nights at Freddy's must fear the Color Brothers!
Alright,
yeah,
pause.
sad.
Why that
It's all
song?
this stuff.
The Color
Okay.
Brothers.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video. If you did, please like the video. And if you have enjoyed my content, please consider subscribing and ringing that little bell so you can be updated on future videos. I have a Discord server in the description, as well as my Discord tag. I also have my Twitter as well in the description. So please consider checking down there. And with all that said, until next time, friends.